So what actually drove you into trading?
What drove me into trading was I wanted to do something that was at home. And I didn't want to sell anything, but I wanted to make money. So when someone said you can do it from your cell phone, you can do it from a hotel, you can do it from a beach, you can make money in a few minutes, and all you had to do was acquire a skill.
So do you believe in long-term investments, short-term? Do you day trade? What do you do?
I believe in all of them. I believe in long-term and I believe in short-term. And I don't have any one bias toward one or the other. I like short-term for right now because it immediately gives you the money that you need. But long-term also provides you wealth for the future.
Are you afraid to invest in certain assets?
No, because all of them have the charts, the candlesticks. Green means up and red means down. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's just each chart has its own personality. And what people do, they tend to learn that personality of that chart. They know what time of season the market will go up. They know what time of season the market go down. And everything in trading is psychology. So it's quick, for example, if you go into a classroom, everybody goes into the classroom and sit down. I guarantee you 99% of the people tomorrow will sit in the exact same seat. So that's what trading is. It's price action determined by people.
That's a great point.
And then it goes back to that price.
That's a great point. You sit in the same seat at church, you sit in the same seat wherever you go.
That's psychology.
That's me. I never switch seats. I like to sit in the back of the room. I never like to sit in the front of the room. So,
in fact, you claim it. If somebody sit in that seat,
you
will sit that is my seat. Yes.
Yeah, you absolutely do. But it's something about those charts, and I've been trying to understand those charts for years because you got to have 100% confidence that chart is accurate.
So what we're looking at is the probability, and that's what trading is about. The more the probability that it will go back to where it was. And your job is speculating and looking at the chart and saying, what is the probability of this going back to that particular area?
What about speculative stocks? Are you investing in those type of stocks?
Well, everything is speculated. Every stock, everything that you into, you speculate on the market going in a certain direction. But you got to understand this. The market is not doing what you want it to do. The market is going to do what it's going to do. And you're going to hope that you're going to be on the right side of the market when it does move. Instead of taking a small loss and getting out and say, okay, the market is moving in a different direction. I'm finna go and get on the boat. We all speculate. No one knows the future or what the market will do. We learn the charts and go by the probability that it will go in that direction.
So in listening to you, you know what you're talking about.
That's correct.
So my next question is, how did you attain the knowledge? Where did you get those resources? For anybody who wants to learn how to do this, what did you do to master trading?
I studied very, very hard. But when 2020 came, the pandemic hit. The school closed down and I was in the middle of learning. In fact, I had just took a class and they told us the next day, stop. We're closing the school down because of COVID. When I was in school, I always collected everybody's phone number. I just said, okay, what's your phone number? What's your phone number? So I was able to go back and keep in contact with some people. I just went back to the books. And a lot of times I didn't understand it. I just like, what am I gonna do? But I kept going in. And as time went on, one day it was like the light came on. I started understanding it. And I was determined because I knew that was something good on the other side. But I had to fight for it. I had to learn it.
So you invest in multiple assets. You mentioned crypto. You mentioned Forex and options. Can you talk about each of those? And
yes.
What made you decide to invest in those areas?
It's all correlated together. Forex is correlated with lumber and oil. And commodities is correlated with stocks. Everything is all together. And sometimes it's just like some of them are inverse related, which means they're opposite of each other. And some markets are together. They go up together. So if you understand that, it's a win-win situation. If I understand that one is going up and the other one's going down, all I do is put money on one and sell on one and buy on the other.
Yeah, the big money people usually invest in
Right.
income.
So they know when the dollar is down, then gold starts going up.
Yeah, they move that money to a safe haven. So can you speak to the difference in investment approaches between assets?
Yes, and you have futures where they call it ticks. We have stocks where they call it points or pennies. Then you have Forex where they call it pips.
So you're up 24 hours a day basically trading.
No, I choose what time I want to trade.
So can you speak to day trading versus long-term investing?
And with day trading, you have to have $25,000 in your account to start.
Okay.
Or if you don't have $25,000, you only can trade 3 days that week. And you don't want to be labeled as a day trader, because if you do, you can get a margin call, which...
Yeah, I would think that you would have to be really good to swing trade or day trade because of the fees. You don't know if the stock is going to be up that day, if it's going to be down. I would venture to say that most people lose money on day trading unless you're very good. How about yourself?
Long-term traders tend to make more money than short-term traders.
I also see a number of people that day trade. They seem stressed too. I mean, they're always looking at the market. They can't talk on the phone. They can't do anything because, they have to look at their computer. So, do you have those same stresses when you day trade?
Put a price limit in it and walk away. You don't have to necessarily sit and watch it unless you want to. Now, some traders do sit and watch because they have to be in a certain zone, and then they do a next action. But the market got to trade in it. Then they hit it instantly that way. Trading is psychological. I didn't understand how is it psychological, because it goes against your innate ability to be greedy. You can get real greedy.
Yes, you can.
And you got to have so much self-control to say, okay, I'm going to stop. I'm not going to, even though I got $500 to $1,000 and I see the market still going up. You see, that part of your brain gonna say, but you can get more money.
And you can do really well by trading options. Have you ever done that?
Yes.
Can you talk about options and what it takes to trade options?
Options, I like options because,
I do too.
no pun intended, it gives you options.
Yeah, I do too.
Options, I think I love it because it's not to say it's generic, but it gives you the generic version of the real thing. You're not actually trading the stock, but you're actually trading the action price of that stock.
Yes.
So you're trading the action of the move. So
For a certain date.
right. It's like a coupon.
Yeah.
So you're saying, okay, this market is going to move to this date before this coupon expires. And if you're right, you get the money. And if you're wrong, you lose.
You can play puts, you can play calls. You want to talk about that as well for people that are listening? Volatility indicated how much option will move from day to day.
It's similar to a car.
Yeah, and so when you look at options, you want to buy options that have high volatility because you don't know where it's going to be from day to day, and it gives you the best chance of making or losing depending on if you buy a put or a call.
You never buy something that's high volatility, because when it's high volatility, that means a lot of movement is going on in that stock and they're getting ready to sell.
You are very knowledgeable across the board in terms of investment, and you gained that knowledge over a very short period, and you seem to enjoy teaching it. You actually teach classes as well, right?
Yes, I do.
Can you talk about that and tell everybody how they can get in contact with you to join one of your courses?
So my company is Honeybee Trading. I also have a website and it lists all my courses.
What's your website?
It's Honeybee with an extra E. It's 3 E's in honeybeetrading.com.